Hello and welcome back. Now today is all about the Ash Prime. I won't lie, I do not like this frame. I find him very boring to play, and so many people just run around pressing 4, but what can you do? Now I am aware that this video is probably a bit late to the game due to the rework, but still. This build is for me all about Fatal Teleport. Redirection and Vitality just help him to survive. As you can see, I've got low duration. Next build is Seeking Shuriken, again low duration, bit more power strength, bit less range. And then the final build is a mix of stealth or smokescreen along with Fatal Teleport for those killing blows. Now I don't actually rate his stealth very highly due to the fact that it's 22 seconds, Loki gets 34, and then there's Ivara. Anyway, first build we're going to test is my main build, which I use is Fatal Teleport. Now I will tell you now, I use Nikana Prime because I don't see the point in using a dagger with covertly 30 because you don't tend to go above level 100 unless you are really going for it, and even if you are really going for it, Nikana Prime with Fatal Teleport will quite happily one-shot level 140 Corrupted Heavy Gunner, as you just saw. Moving on to the Seeking Shuriken build. Now this is actually a bit more of a support style. Although it doesn't really work well, it's not a great damage build. However, that being said, it does do about 1000 damage with this build. There we are, 1000 damage. There's a very good chance of a slash proc, and with the augment, Seeking Shuriken, it will reduce enemy armor by 70%. So if you can spam it, which this build is all about, you can pretty much negate enemy armor, just in case you do not have those corrosive projections active. Now, the problem with this build is, as you can probably see, smokescreen is pretty pointless. It lasts for roughly a second, and then adding in the cast time, you are invisible for probably about 0.3 seconds. You are still capable of doing damage with it, due to the simple fact that it is still castable while firing, much like Sarin's Spore. I do use a bow with him as well. Normally, I'm all about the roleplay. He's a bit of an assassin, sort of ninja, samurai styled frame, so I tend to I've gone with like a ninja-y samurai setup with a bow and arrow, ninja stars, and then a samurai sword. What can I say? I like to play around. Now, the problem with the Seeking Shuriken is, as you just saw, maybe, I'm not sure, but the reducing armor doesn't actually last long enough to be viable for any real sort of damage. The best thing I can really do with it is, as you are seeing here, still taking a hit though, activating the ability while firing. Now, the last build on the list is my duration build with Fatal Teleport. Now with Fatal Teleport, I have noted that your power strength does have a slight bit to play, or at least it would appear that it has a slight bit to play. You may notice that on the first build I had 185% power strength. On this one I have considerably less. And the reason I would say the power strength has a slight bit to play is that originally I was able to one-shot the heavy gunners. The bombards are not a problem, however, as you are about to see, hit the heavy gunner and he just stood up. He didn't exactly die. Then again didn't die. Again didn't die. I suppose if you are wanting to play it like this, you really could use a dagger and covert 30, but if you just play this build relatively well and just be mindful of the fact that you could not cast the ability mid-air, you need to get out of harm's way, and then go back in, then it shouldn't really be a problem. Or if you want, you could go with a hammer, which does ×6 damage, and then adding in a 200% from Fatal Teleport is pretty much ×12, as you will get the ×6 finish multiplier from the hammer. That will then be doubled, which is ×12. So you potentially can do a lot of damage, but still, how you want to play your Ash is up to you. I'm not a big fan, and that is for the main reason of Bladestorm. I find it more than irritating. But that's just me. Not really here to actually pick and gripe about things, so we'll stick with what is actually available with Ash Prime. For me, Seeking Shuriken is a very good ability. It just seems a shame that the augment doesn't allow it to last for much longer. I would kind of hope it would increase the duration of it, but hey. And Smokescreen for me is completely pointless. They're not long enough to do anything with. For me, you get used to Loki's invisibility time or Invara's. As long as you've got energy, you're invisible, sort of thing. And then there's Ash, who just seems it's like a poor mockery of both of them. Fatal Teleport is very good. It has potential to pick out those higher priority targets, such as the Bombards and the Heavy Gunners. It is very good. Bladestorm I tend to just try and avoid using at all costs. Mainly because, as you can see here, I'm now using Bladestorm, trying to prove a point. It will select 18 targets, or as I call it, 18 casts. It's targets really. You press 4, you teleport all over the place, and you do damage. I've put 20 enemies out here, and I killed maybe 10 of them. So yeah, 20 enemies, 10 heavy gunners, 10 bombards, and I killed maybe 10 of them, really. And just showing 18 casts right there, doing 4,200 damage, and it also takes into account the mods you have on your melee weapon. So I'm going to try again. This time picking on the heavy gunners rather than the bombards. They have more armour, more health, their EHP, effective health points is through the roof. On the plus side, you are pretty much immortal while doing this. I'm not sure if it's a bug. There have been a few times when casting this ability I have been killed, but I'm not sure if that's a thing. As you can see, that there are still more than a few gunners left on the map. It does seem that at high levels this ability really does fade out more than what people realise, and they just don't get it. A lot of people would say we'll just have a dagger with covert lethality, so what I'm using here is Ratchka Dart Dagger. I'll get there eventually, don't you worry about me. Ratchka Dart Dagger with covert lethality, and I'm actually doing less damage. Covert lethality does not take effect from Bladestorm, and that will happen. So I wouldn't really say Bladestorm is a viable build if you're wanting to go on high level runs. Just to prove a point, Ratchka Dart Dagger right there, and there is covert lethality. So yes, another problem with it as well, not just high levels, is infested. Going for a little bit of a made up scenario here, I have Ancient Disruptor Eximus plus heavy gunners, and I can tell you now that I am doing absolutely nothing. I've probably killed maybe one enemy throughout all of that. As for my builds, the thing that goes against me is from where I dislike Ash so much is I am terrible with him. I am trying my best, to be honest. I just really do not enjoy this frame. But as for actually playing in a mission, I just don't find any of his abilities synergize well. It's sort of, I kind of wish if he was going to be a damage dealer he could be more consistent with it. Like some sort of area effect, to be honest. I mean, whenever I play, I have an Ash Prime in my squad, I'm easily able to outdamage them with a multitude of frames. Ember, Equinox, Mirage just make it easy, although it is quite amusing when you outdamage an Ashe with an Inaros using Rakta Cernos. For me, he doesn't really make a good melee frame either. He's got quite a large health as well as shield pool. His armor is at an okay standard. It's definitely above average. I do also use Arcane Guardian with him just because it's on the Syndana I use. But as for overall playability, it could just be me, and where I absolutely hate pressing 4. But I just don't find him a comfortable frame to play whatsoever. And problem that I did actually see after actually testing this build out in mod is using Fatal Teleport. For some strange reason, it pretty much causes all enemies to stop targeting you and target your Sentinel. So this build is a very good way to get your Sentinel killed. As you can see my Sentinel is already dead, which is a bit upsetting. And there are a few other issues with him as well. The Fatal Teleport doesn't target every enemy. It gets a bit iffy, particularly with infested units and a few corps as well. Near all seem to be viable too. Anyway, that's me. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.
Operator, you have remembered well how the Tenno arm themselves.